Obviously, we've got the normal meta bots. You know, I mean, without going through them, of likes of the Warriors, SG Jetfire, Rook, even B, Brainstorm, Twin Twist, Laser Optimus, few Gunners, Jets, six gun even, Slingshot. Some top spin. Smoke screen even, a lot of bots that are really good, and even like some blades and tracks you'll see. So I'm trying to think outside the box a bit. I'm trying to think of some bots that people might not have. Even some good 4 stars, good 5 stars that we could use to get rid of this. Let's look at some new bots. And someone did mention this in a stream, and I was looking at this a while ago. And there's a few reasons why I thought that it wouldn't work. But I thought, hey, I'm willing to give it a try. I'm willing to try it out and see if there's a way that we can make it work. So I've been doing a few tests with a bot that many people have probably forgotten about. Grapple. So I think a lot of people, if you said to people like, off the cuff, what does grapple do? They'd say, oh, it puts a mine down, attracts defenses, and then blows up. That was generally it from testing that we took away from it. We've actually looked through the description. It says, place a mine that absorbs 95% of damage received. So a lot like Rook. It attracts nearby defenses and prevents them from healing. Now that's the interesting part, because right now, obviously, there's a lot of healing in the game. But when we tested this guy, when we balanced this guy, there was no healing in the game. So that's a bit of a new thing that's, made him a bit more relevant, maybe. Then after 10 seconds, or if destroyed, it explodes, dealing 5,230 damage in a large area. Now, 5k damage is pretty decent, and the fact that it stops healing, and it absorbs damage, so a lot like Rook. So I thought to myself, maybe this could replace Rook. So if we're going to compare it to Rook, we've got 500 DPS and 25,000 health. You see there that 32k health and about 400 DPS at 6510. So you can see there that the decoy has a lot more health. The decoy for Rook has health, but when you look at grapple, then it doesn't have health as much. It just absorbs 95% of the damage received. But grapples actually does more damage in an area, and it lasts for 10 seconds unless it's been destroyed. So it's an interesting playoff between more DPS and less health for grapple, but more damage ability, between more health, obviously, for Rook. So in terms of combat bots, though, so very similar in terms of what they can equip. No real difference there. And then power core wise, again, no real difference. So a really good comparison. So we'll give them a go. So grapple, let's put him down. So look, really, really good range. Probably more than Rook's. Put that down there. And there you go, look, distracting all defenses, mines lasting a decent amount of time, and then damaging an area. So yeah, pretty decent. But now let's take a look at why it's not maybe as good as Rook. So you gotta think that, if this bot is such a good bot, as in like, the DPS and the ability damage from the mine, then a lot of the stuff that we said in test is still relevant today. And that's why grapple is not quite as good as Rook, maybe, and why people have chose Rook. And you could say, oh, it's just because he's a 5-star, but it's not. I think even as a 5-star, grapple will be chosen less than Rook. So you've got to think that, as a bot, if you're on the front line, you want health. You want lots of health. That's why Warriors are doing so well in the meta right now over special bots, because they've got that extra health. So when you look at the likes of, Pipes, and you look at Ironhide and bots like them at the minute, their health is through the roof. It's only 500 DPS, but absolutely through the roof. 48k health. Even when you look at Rook himself as a 5-star, 42k health. The DPS is quite irrelevant, if I'm honest with you. So you want health on a tank, a front standing tank, and sadly grapple doesn't have that because it's a special bot. Now, special bots do mean they do have other advantages, because they can take advantage of other buffs to special bots rather than Warriors. And most of the time that is like a DPS increase, something like that. And so it doesn't quite work as just a standalone bot. In terms of the ability, If you want something to distract defenses solely, then yeah, works really well. But doesn't pop outposts like Rook does. So you use Rook to pop an outpost, take damage, and do area damage as well. So it sort of ticks all the boxes. When you're creating a team, you don't want to have one bot that does one use. You want a bot that can do multiple uses. So you're looking for things where you go, right, I'm going to get this benefit out of this bot, but I'm getting this as well. So yeah, you do distract defenses and you do get damage in an area, but Rook also does that and pops the outpost as well. Rook's a point cheaper. So you're getting more out of Rook for a slightly cheaper cost. It's all about balance, and it's all about, again, having them multiple uses. And it's so important for HU18. I can't stress that enough, of making your team streamlined in terms of cost. If you need 2 bots to do one job, it's not going to work. It's trying to get one bot to do multiple jobs, and then another bot to do multiple jobs, maybe combine the 2. Grapple, sadly, I like the idea of it. I like the anti-healing and, you know, all these things. But it just doesn't quite beat Rook. But we do have a G1 core, maybe coming at one point. We do have maybe ability 11, and he's still a 4-star. So if this guy was to be made a 5-star, we could easily just reduce his cost down to 4+3 to make him a bit more relevant than Rook, a bit cheaper. We could easily give him ability 11, which would improve him in some way, and obviously a G1 core as well. So there's plenty more to come for Grapple, and I think he's a bot that gets overlooked a lot. If I'm honest, I don't know a single person that ever talked about Grapple as being a decent bot and doing 5,000 damage. I've no doubt that in lower levels you could easily use Grapple and Rook to really good effect. So if you've got Grapple, I wouldn't overlook him. I would definitely use him. He's got a great use. Would I use him instead of Rook? Maybe not. Would he replace Rook as a 5-star? A 5-star Grapple as a 5-star Rook on my war team? I think the fact it doesn't pop outposts is a bit of a deal breaker for me. If that pops outposts, maybe.